Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Raquel Lee Las Vegas and it's me, Raquel Lee. Okay, so I had a topic that I was going to talk about, but something is grinding my gears today, and it's because everybody knows that I am definitely one who's always talking about standing up for yourself and this, that, and the third. So we're talking about harassment at your job. I know it's like really like scary to talk about, but that's the best part. We're gonna talk about it. Yeah, I had a whole thing set up as far as what I wanted to talk to y'all about, but being that this is an active thing that is currently happening today at work, I'm talking about this. So let's just go there. Let's just jump right in. We're just doing it. Okay. Now, again, I like my job. I personally don't have a lot of issues. But I cannot speak for the people around me. So I'm going to try and make this as general as possible without letting the cat out of the bag. Like I said, if you know me, then you know obviously where I work, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to put that out there. Okay. So trying to make this into a general form of a topic here. And I'm not talking about sexual harassment. Everybody talks about that. If you can't figure out what sexual harassment is by now, then you probably shouldn't be complaining about it. But anyway, so currently there is someone of upper management that is harassing their department. And I say harassing in the sense of, and this is where you need to start paying attention. If you say you have a cold or you're sick, like with the flu, which of course when you have open large company spaces in your workspace, everybody gets sick. And when one person gets sick, the whole office gets sick. So if you need to go to the doctor, or if you need to, in my case was, go to the hospital because, I don't know, you can't breathe. Hey, thank you for asthma, because that happened to me. But this isn't about me, okay? Just saying. That was just a reason why I had to leave. So let's see, there's if you're sick, if you have a heart attack at work, if you have a seizure at work. Mind you, I'm talking about very real life things that have happened at my job. There is a manager that will give you crap for leaving and then expect you to be here the next day, to the point where they're going to harass you all day and nitpick and micromanage you until they get what they want from you. There is a manager that is out there doing this, okay? Not okay. And again, I feel like a lot of the things that I talk about are common sense, but you would be surprised how many people are afraid to speak up. And this is, I mean, again, I've talked about this in several videos. Stand up for yourselves, yo. Like, this is, it's insane to me. Like, when you hear the things that I just listed off, like, obviously you wouldn't think that this would be an issue. Like, oh, well, obviously this person went to the hospital. Literally somebody at work had a heart attack and their manager expected them to work the next day. Are you joking? Are you joking? There was another situation where somebody had gotten up to take a emergency phone call about, I believe it was one of their children, and they were gone for 2 minutes. Not even a full 2 minutes. I'm sorry. 1 minute and 46 seconds. Do you know that this manager emailed them and said, "Excuse me, why were you away from your desk so long?" It's a minute. It's a minute and it's less than 2 minutes. Are you kidding me right now? Like, the fact that this is even a thing already, like, chafes my behind. All right. If this sort of thing is happening, and it obviously doesn't have to be this particular type of scenario, but literally every single person that something like this has happened to, nobody is comfortable to go to HR. Now, there's I will say that there are some reasons for that. And of course, when somebody is in upper management, everybody always assumes, oh, well, if I tell HR, they're going to have to talk to them and then they're going to retaliate. Okay, so this is where we're going to get to the nuts and bolts of this conversation. First of all, if you're going to have something like that happening, you need to go file some form of complaint so that you have something in writing, some kind of track record to document the fact that this has happened. Then the next thing is that person cannot retaliate against you. And especially, so putting that out there, since I'm in Las Vegas, right to work state, if the sky is blue, we could be like, you know what, we don't like you, we feel like firing you. We can do that out here. But there are some loopholes where you can't get around, retaliation being one of them, harassment being one of them. Like, there are ways around getting in trouble for voicing your opinion on what you dislike in the workplace. So, like I said, this being the scenario, everybody is pretty much scared because they're all afraid that this manager is going to retaliate. They cannot do that. And if they do, it is considered retaliation, and that is open grounds for legal action to be taken. So, putting all of this into perspective, if you are in a workplace where you feel like you are just being outright picked on and you are not going to, file some form of complaint, the first thing you need to do is go to the HR department. Everybody has one, okay? They all get trained. Everybody that's in an HR department gets trained on these sort of things. You talk to them, you deal with it, you figure out the next course of action, and you move forward. I mean, what else has happened? There's been that. There's been people having to ask permission to go to the bathroom. Everybody in here is 18 or older. I don't think that anybody needs a buddy pass or raise their hand to ask permission to go pee. Don't think that's a thing. And if you feel like you need to ask, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna ask permission to go to the bathroom. That's, if I need to pee, I'm gonna get up and go pee. Like, it's, what? Am I the only one who cares? Like, hello? Since when when you're at home, do you ask whoever's in the house, oh, can I go pee? No, you're grown. You know your body. You go deal with it. Simple as that. Let's see, there's that. There's, what else has happened? Oh, or if you answer the phone, depending on, where you work. Now, I've worked in places where they have like a whole spiel, a set spiel of what they want you to say versus what you choose to say. There's no real preference on that, but in most workplaces, they have kind of a general greeting. I have had people get in trouble just because the first word of their greeting was hi instead of hello, or good morning instead of good afternoon, that sort of thing. When I talk about micromanaging and nitpicking, like, it's so silly. It's so silly and it's unnecessary. I understand there are people that are problems in a workplace, but that's something that you deal with them one-on-one. It just is. And then there's other situations where, one person screws it up for everybody else. I get that too. These are not those kinds of scenarios. You got to know the difference. There have been situations where after, like I was talking about, somebody had a personal phone call that they took, an emergency phone call in their case. Then the active floor supervisor under that manager was following that person around the office, even during their breaks when they got up, every single time they got up. Okay, that is harassment. And what's funny is the person flat out said, you're harassing me. And no, that's not what it is. Okay, well, what else are you doing? Because they're opposite sexes. So if I'm going to the bathroom, why are you standing on the other side of the door waiting for me to come out? That's not okay. None of that is okay. So again, I feel like my rants make my videos shorter, but it is what it is. All I'm saying is, if you are dealing with something that is directly harassment of any form at your place of work, in general, if you're dealing with it, speak up. Stop being scared to do something about it, because the second that you voice any of that and nothing happens, guess what? Now it's on them. The company is now liable for that, not you. It's happening to you, especially if you have proof of it. Totally different thing. I mean, we've had people that were sending, I'm talking managers sending disgusting photos. Mind you, some of these managers no longer work here, or the people that it was happening to don't work here anymore. But also, you don't know where I work for some of you, so this is irrelevant. But for some of you who do watch my videos, who do work with me, this is me calling y'all too. Stop being scared. I want you guys to understand, the less you say, the more nothing is going to happen. That's the whole point in me always being the one to say, hey, speak up for yourself, get that in writing, do something about it, because the more y'all just let it go by, it's going to continue to happen. Nobody's going to get a slap on the wrist even if you don't say anything. There have been people that have taken disgusting photos of themselves and sent them to employees. There has been discriminatory things that have happened. There have been outright blatant phone calls that mysteriously went unanswered and disappeared from, mind you, all of our calls are supposed to be recorded. All these different kinds of little things that happen when somebody gets too touchy of a subject, or somebody actually voices a complaint and nobody is doing anything about it. Y'all got to stop doing that. And I'm not saying this happens in every workplace, but if it is happening to you and you are not taking those proper steps because you're too scared, you're adding to the problem. So all of that loveliness, even though it sounds so terrible, but it's just a point to say, speak up for yourselves, get everything in writing, everything, okay? Whatever anybody says to you or emails to you or whatever it is, get it in writing, keep a copy of it. I have lists, dates, and times of everything that has ever gotten on my nerves, anything that I thought was a little bit inappropriate, all kinds of stuff. And I'm talking from past jobs too. I'm not talking about just the current place I'm working at. So don't think that I work at some like terrible company. There are elements of it that are bad, but it doesn't mean that it's not a reflection of the entire company as a whole, because that's not the case. But I'm just saying, like, if you have these things happening, document it. Because then when somebody does try that retaliation thing, well, you've got proof. So now it's going to be even harder for them to dig themselves out of that hole. All of that to say, hopefully that shines some light on those of you who are afraid to do something or unsure of what to do. That's the bulk of where you start. Aside from that, obviously, that's what's going to get the ball rolling. Now, how you choose to deal with it outside of that, I hope that you're not a super emotional, sensitive person, because if you are, it's going to make it really awkward and uncomfortable for you. This is why I'm so big on, I don't care what anybody else thinks about me. If you like what I say, if you don't like what I say, it doesn't matter to me, because then, oh, excuse me, sorry, at least I'm not coughing, right? Gross still, sorry, my bad. But at least if I don't engage in the drama that comes after whatever it is I've put in motion, then there's no reason for me to feel uncomfortable. There are people out there that will feel uncomfortable afterwards and feel really awkward, feel really attacked, feel really isolated. I would encourage you to definitely, if you don't have a person within your circle or within your workplace that you can really confide in and trust, which like I said, I can't speak for everybody, because I generally just don't care about much. I mean, I care about a lot, but I don't care about much when it comes to, negativity, I guess. So if somebody were to get mad at me, I'd be like, okay, well, that sucks for you. Sorry? ? I don't, But if you are one of those people that is very sensitive to those things, find somebody that you can confide in. And when you have those moments, even if you got to send them a text in those moments, do that, because waiting and just letting all of those things build up and make it worse is only going to make you feel worse as well. And it's going to add to a whole nother laundry list of problems that you don't want, as far as what you'll be then taking home with you. You don't want to take all those emotions that you may be feeling, whether somebody's getting on your nerves, picking on you, whatever it is. You don't want to feel like you're being bullied at work and then take all that home, and then you're emotional, and it's a big old mess. You don't want that. So find somebody that you are comfortable enough with. Like I said, even if it's a friend, family member, whoever, that you got to call or text or whatever it is to say, hey, I need you. I need to feel better. This is what's going on. I'm stressed out. Whatever it is, that's what you should do. And something to kind of like center yourself and regain control of the situation. All that being said, hopefully that was helpful for anybody going through that, and hopefully that inspires and empowers somebody to get up and start speaking out on the crap that is bothering them. Please, y'all know who I'm talking to, okay? Y'all know what's going on, and y'all ain't saying nothing. Say something. I can't be saying something for everybody. It's not happening to me. I don't have proof of these things aside from what is given to me, so I cannot do anything for you that you cannot do for yourself. But I love all of you, I promise. And those of you who don't know me, well, obviously now you see I'm kind of like, I don't know, Captain Save-A-Ho, I guess. I mean, y'all ain't hoes, but I'm just saying, like, that's kind of what I feel like. But anyway, have a lovely day. It's Thursday, one more day closer to Friday, thank God. And I will see y'all later. Inspire daily, empower daily. Repeat that process once a day, every day. And I will see you tomorrow.